Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is the final game between Gungfubanda and Scarlett, and because I don't see a probe running across the map, we're not going to see a cheese here. We saw Gungfubanda cheese in game 1 and game 3, and he won both of those games. When it actually went to a more legitimate straight up game, he lost both pretty heavy. So we're going to see what kind of trickery, I've got to assume there's going to be trickery from Gungfubanda. He's just, every time he's played straight up, he's been outmaneuvered, out-tacked, out-macroed. Looks like he might be going for a forge expand, maybe for some cannon rushing. And it's not that he's a bad player, just that Scarlett is phenomenal and is just killing it right now. So we'll see what the plan is. This obviously forced Scarlett to be very defensive and very concerned that there might be more cheeses. So we're likely going to see her scout all the corners of her base and scout around before she decides to throw down her hatchery. And probably go for a pool first. The very impressive thing is, even though these more standard and straight up games that happen in game 2 and 4, Gungfubanda went for a very aggressive 2 base play, lots of zealots and mothership core. We still saw Scarlett able to scout it and deny it with a mixture of spine crawlers, queens, and zerglings. Even in game 4 with a really great build I love from Gungfubanda, had about like 7 zealots out, 2 oracles, and a mothership core, was still able to be turned away by just good micro and decision making out of Scarlett. And then just went into mass muta and crushed everything. Mass muta is a fun way for any zerg to play against protoss, but you really need to be up on a lot of bases before that happens. Alright, oh here it is. Here's the cheese. I wonder about this cheese sometime. Let's see what Scarlett thinks of this. She doesn't know about it yet. I'm going to follow her vision for this. She did go pool first, so we'll see if she can deal with this or not. That's just her vision right now that we're seeing. This is her actions. First cannon is down. Second cannon is down. Don't see anything yet out of the Zerg player. No vision yet. Third cannon is down. Holy crap. Oh, there it is. She sees it. Oh man. This is really funky. I don't know if I've seen too many of these builds. Does get the probe, but there will be 2 cannons at the top here. Now this probe is not going to be able to get up to the high ground. Yeah, save that overlord. This should be cancelled. I don't think there's any way for her to save this. Yeah, exactly. Can she sneak it out? Looks like she should be able to sneak it out. One shot. Nope. We'll get out. This probe might continue to chase. We'll find out soon. Could continue to cannon rush it. This overlord is going to move over there and see. Let's check back over here. Spine crawler is going to go down. Queen and spine crawler can poke at it. Don't see anything yet on this side. There is a nexus down over here. So the protoss player is not going to be miles behind if this gets shut down. One cannon actually does get unpowered with that. Good multitasking here out of Scarlett. Oop. Queen just a little bit in range. Oop, nope. Probably just letting that spine crawler take the heat there. She does have a transfuse available, but that's going to take quite a bit of a beating. She might have to actually uproot it and move it away, rather than risk losing it. Woo! With 1 hit point left for the win. Gateway finally going down, and a cannon on this side. And I had to call it. I knew that Gungfubanda was going to do this. Like that, you can tell that. That's the way he feels confident about this. He does not feel confident about going for a standard play. Units wise, pretty even on workers right now. Oh, she did get cannon rushed again. I didn't even notice. Oh man. The cheese of the cheese. Cheesy McGee's. Should be seeing another hatchery go down here pretty quick. That pylon is unfortunately not going to help with anything. Pretty big investment into all these cannons though. But in the grand scheme of things, it is keeping the Zerg on one base, whereas the Protoss player is already on two. One base spire. Who saw that coming? Not just that Scarlett always does spire, but one base spire. That could be really sick. Depending if she gets in there and gets all the right amount of numbers. Her gas has still got to climb a bit. It's going to be a while before it's required. Still moving up to 3 bases. If you can't rush again, I'm going to poo in your mouth. So let us find out here. She might be able to get out maybe even 5 or 6 mutas by the time it's ready. But there's nothing else tech-wise down. There's no more gateways, nothing else. Sentries coming out. Because you want those sentries in case maybe like a roach rush happens or something. Nice placement with this creep tumor. She should be able to burrow these things here pretty quick. No, you burrowed it wrong. There we go. And once you kill that pylon, everything should be good in the world. Creep moving along. Starport on the way, and that's going to help him out. Spire is now finished. Only a couple of mutas can be afforded to be made right now. She's spy locked? No. 3 mutas, so not enough. Might be just enough to do a bit of harass. Let's look at the actual loss tab here. Look at the units lost for the Protoss player here. So much more in all those pylons and cannons. But, in the grand scheme of things, it did slow down the Zerg player quite a bit. Workers-wise, Zerg is still ahead. Tech-wise, I'd give the Zerg the lead. Double Stargate play. Of course, it's going to be double Stargate play. What else can I do that they're not going to expect that could just kill them right out? More gases going down. I'd expect just a bunch of droning and other gases. Just mutas and drones. It's likely what's going to be the case in point here. Scouting Phoenix is going to come up. We'll see if it's going to see that spire or see the mutas. Not a lot of mutas, but it's enough to get some damage done. Phoenixes are getting chrono boosted out. Snipes off a sentry. Cool. I think it's cool. This is like one of those who's got better control kind of moments, and unfortunately, Gungfubanda has not been the victor in any of these let's see who has better control kind of games. Lots of Phoenixes out now though. Corruptors are on the way. These Phoenix are going to get hunted down to the end of the world here. She's going to lose them all. Tons of drones just happened. Nice transfuse, keeping one of those mutas alive. Corruptors are out now. Once again, just drones and air units. One Phoenix looks like it's on a bit of a bad rally point. And will almost die needlessly, but not quite. So we're just going to see tons and tons of Phoenixes pop out here, I'm assuming for a while, out of the Protoss player. And what? Oh, it's unpowered. Like, why is this not making anything? Because there's no pylon there. So we're going to see just tons and tons of those Void Rays. So it's just going to be an air-on-air kind of battle. But we're just seeing some more gateways go down now from the Protoss player. Turn and fight. So it's going to be an air-on-air battle. But the difference is the Zerg player's got more bases and more economy. Units-wise, you can see that the worker count is starting to really skyrocket up now for the Zerg player. Spore crawlers in good spots. Lots of corruptors out now. What she really needs is to get that gas count going. Creep moving really good. Lots of creep spread. It's not a huge deal for her right now because she's not making a ground army. But it gives her great vision, and when it's time to move into something else, it'll be great. I think it'd be worthwhile for the Protoss player to have gotten out something like a Templar Archives, even just to maybe get out more of the Archons. Now, you might not need Storm right now, but the Archon mix, just having that big area of effect damage against something like mutalisks can sometimes really pay off. Not a huge ground army right now, but there's not much of a ground army at all for the protoss player. Lots of static D is going to be happening. I can't really disagree with that. Looks like she can afford it. Again, this is the whole protoss army. Does not really want to lose this. He's going to use the corruptors to try to clean up most of the air that he can. That's what he really wants to make sure is not going after any of his mutas. Spine crawlers are in good position, and he almost baited this protoss army into the attacking where the spine crawlers were. And I think that's actually a bad move for the protoss player. Might be able to get a bit of damage in here, but these spine crawlers, that's just such great metagaming here out of the Zerg player to just pull the protoss player into that piece. Zerglings with speed on creep are just going to get a huge amount of damage in on these stalkers. Bit of focus firing out of the protoss player, doing what he can, but that might be pretty close to it. Some Zerglings, you can just fall back to the spine crawlers. I mean, there's GG, well played, Grats. I was about to say, there's not much you can do. This was pretty all in. There's nothing else behind this. This base is almost empty. No third base. He essentially is, I'm going to win with this army, or I'm dead. So I'll give Gungfubanda a bit of credit just for being able to understand where he was at this. Great series out of Scarlett. Takes the ZOTAC up. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm loving the Scarlett replays. Let me know if you feel the same. SeKo Starcraft. We'll talk with you guys later.